Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rachel, this is my art desk, and today we are talking all about art challenges. The first step to starting an art challenge is to find one. You could technically start your own, but one of the goals of an art challenge is to hold you accountable, get inspiration, and encourage other artists, so I highly recommend finding a challenge made by someone else. This could be as quick as a Pinterest search or an Instagram search. Just find something that excites you. There are certain times of the year that are loaded with art challenges, usually October and December because of the holidays, but some artists host year-long lists. Another place to find art challenges is through art subscription boxes. These are a bit more private because the materials and prompt lists come with a purchase of the subscription, but since the number of participants is smaller, it's easier for others to see your art. The art challenge that I'm doing in this video is for the 12 Days of Artmas, hosted by Victoria Georgieva and Emily Valentine. Different lists have different goals. Some art challenges are focused on a certain medium, like ink during Inktober with Jake Parker, watercolor for Doodle Wash's Watercolor Month, or Paletteful Pack subscriptions. Some challenges offer a reference photo for you to create in your style with any medium you want, like the Food Paint Challenge hosted by Dennis Fiel and Alai Ganzuza, the Liquid Paint Challenge hosted by Victoria Georgieva and Lily Rose Burgess, and the hashtag Sketch With Me Sunday. Other lists offer a single word or phrase to inspire you to create whatever you want with whatever you want. These are lists like Mermay with Tom Bancroft and Mab's Drawloween Club hosted by Mab Graves. Another category of lists are subject of interest like character design, landscapes, still lifes, or calligraphy. The important thing is that you find a list that will help you create something that excites you. If you want to browse art challenges but are having a hard time finding one that's current, you should open up Instagram and visit the Art Challenge Club page. They share lists of all kinds, and it's a great way to find something new. Once you have found an art challenge that you want to participate in, find out how everyone is participating. The 12 Days of Artmas is an Instagram challenge and uses the hashtag 12daysofArtmas23. I think the most common way to share and connect during an art challenge is through an Instagram hashtag, but there are also Facebook groups. Make sure that when you create your art and share it on social media, you include the name of the challenge, the hashtags, and the account of the host artist below in your post. This makes it easy to sprinkle your art across more eyes and helps others hear about the challenges. Also, the algorithm will take note of your participation, and you can dive deeper into finding new things to try. When you do create something for an art challenge, I highly recommend visiting the hashtag page and scrolling for a minute or two and just interact with the other people that are participating by liking and commenting. This is really a huge bonus to using a list made by someone else because it creates a community to interact with, where otherwise your art may just sit in the corner of your room. Another thing to keep an eye on when looking for an art challenge is the time commitment. The 12 Days of Artmas goal is to make one painting every other day for 24 days, leaving me with 12 paintings by Christmas Eve. The most common art challenge lists are 30 or 31 days straight. These are often themed monthly challenges and take a ton of commitment and planning to be able to make something every single day. Some ongoing art challenges require less commitment and more flexibility with weekly prompts that may include a reference photo for you to use at your own pace of participation. These weekly challenges are great for showing off your own style and studying how everyone else perceives the same image. Another time commitment could be a one-time event and can be a bit more like an art exercise or game. This would be something like the 3-color challenge, a draw this in your style, or a 5-minute, 1-minute, 10-second challenge. Keeping your schedule in mind is important when you commit to an art challenge. Do you have 10 minutes before you leave for school or work, 30 minutes during lunch, an hour when you get home? Do you only have free time on weekdays or maybe only on weekends? Setting up realistic expectations really helps you know how to participate without feeling like you failed. I suggest keeping a somewhat consistent day or time set aside for the duration of the challenge so you don't miss a day and fall behind. It's also worth saying that if you miss a day or a week, it's really not a big deal. No one is coming after you, shaking their finger and banishing you from art. But to put your head down and complete something that you set out to do is an amazing feeling, and it's worth staying up an extra half hour and hold yourself accountable. Now that you've found an art challenge, know how to participate, and have a good idea of how to fit it into your day, how should you prepare yourself and your space for success? First, keep your art challenge easily accessible. Make it your phone background or put it on a sticky note on your desk, write the prompts on your calendar, whatever you have to do to keep it on your mind. I'll look at the list a few times a day to brainstorm what I want to make, which brings me to the second tip, which is take the time to think ahead. This helps with the workflow of creating on a time crunch. Instead of sitting down, looking at the list, brainstorming, and creating all in 1 hour you set aside for the challenge, look at your list in the morning, think about it on your commute, brainstorm in the shower, and create when you sit down for your 30-minute or 1 hour session. If the challenge doesn't supply a reference photo, you may want to take your own or find one online. I try to do this at least 1 day in advance so it doesn't eat up some of my studio time. Some great resources for free references are Pixabay and Unsplash. You may enjoy making a Pinterest board for references to give you a broader vibe and a little details for things like a character design that you may not be able to find an actual reference photo for. It's also important to set up your space for success. Whether you have a room, a desk, a corner of the dining room table, or just your bed, there are things that you can do to get set up. If you're participating in a challenge that uses a specific medium, you should gather up those supplies like brushes, water cups, paper or canvases, pencils or markers, ink pens or paint, or if you're creating digitally, just your tablet, digital pen, and charger. You can keep all of your supplies in a tote bag or box next to your bed or in the kitchen, or leave it all set up if you have a designated space to do your art. Doing this eliminates the time and friction it takes to get set up every day, giving you the best chance at completing your challenge. Depending on how intense you're going for the challenge you chose, you may want to prep your canvases or sketch thumbnails ahead of time as well. It's up to you how ahead of things you get before you feel like you're cheating yourself from the experience of the challenge. But like I said, no one will come after you, so just relax. To be completely transparent with you, for this 12 Days of Artmas challenge, I made sure that either the day before or by the end of the first day of each prompt, I had my reference photo taken, my canvas prepped and roughly sketched out with a clean palette, clean water, and some brushes laid out. And yeah, there were days I had more time than others. If I could get ahead any more than that, maybe even finish another painting, I would do it. I gave myself permission to work ahead because this is a busy time in my life and I wanted to complete 12 paintings by Christmas Eve, and I did it, and I'm really proud of myself. Even though some people may consider it cheating to work ahead, it really works best for me to have a flexible schedule and squeeze the most productivity out of my studio time, as much or as little as it may be on any given day. The point was to paint lots, paint daily, and establish a workflow while connecting with artists. So now you've picked out a challenge, found a way to connect, set aside a time commitment, prepared your supplies, and set up a creating space. All you have left to do is start. All this prep work isn't worth a hill of beans unless you actually do something with it. So if you make one drawing, it was worth it. If you hit every third prompt, it was worth it. But if you hit every single milestone, holy guacamole, that was so worth it. Just remember that some days you may make art for the sake of the challenge and it may be awful and your head isn't in the game, but you put all this effort into planning and it still paid off. You still created something. And then the next day, you may have a flood of great ideas and your pencil will dance and you will make something you are super proud of. And that's the thing about art challenges. It's not really about making something perfect every time. It's about making a mark on the canvas and connecting with people. To be honest, some of these paintings I really didn't like at all, and a few of them I like a lot, and even fewer I love. But I got what I wanted out of this art challenge. Not 12 beautiful masterpieces, but I got to consistently practice with acrylic paint and color mixing. I explored a few new colors on my palette, and I determined a workflow that is efficient for me that I can carry into my daily art habits. I really enjoyed seeing artists in all stages of life participate as often as they could, and if you search for the hashtag 12 Days of Artmas 23 on Instagram, you will see a whole gallery of inspiring art from so many artists, and mine are sprinkled in there too. I'm so happy I was able to complete this challenge, and I want to thank the artists for hosting it. I hope that you consider taking part in at least one art challenge in the new year because they're a lot of fun and I always come out feeling proud that I finished something, and the consistent practice leaves me feeling a bit more skilled than I was before. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video where I'll review 2023 and chit-chat about my 2024 art habits. Leave a comment of your experience with an art challenge, or let me know which of these paintings you like best and why down below. Thanks so much for watching. Now go make some art, and I will see you next time. Bye!